What if 5 moments in the Middle East did not just reshape one region, but changed the entire world we live in? Because since World War II, the Middle East has been more than a map of deserts and borders. It has been the center of oil power, Cold War rivalry, revolution, war, diplomacy, and new forms of global influence. And if you understand these 5 turning points, you understand a huge part of modern history. The first major turning point came in 1948, with the creation of the State of Israel. After the Holocaust and the collapse of European empires, the region was already under enormous pressure. When Israel was declared independent, neighboring Arab states went to war. This moment mattered far beyond the conflict itself. It created one of the world's most enduring geopolitical disputes, shaped US and Soviet involvement in the region, and became a central issue in Arab politics for decades. Why it matters today? If you want to understand diplomacy in the Middle East, the global debate over borders, or why peace efforts are so difficult, 1948 is a key starting point. Next came the Suez Crisis in 1956. When Egypt's leader Gamal Abdel Nasser nationalized the Suez Canal, Britain, France, and Israel responded with military action. But the real shock was this: the old European powers could no longer act like they ruled the world. The crisis exposed a major shift in global power. The US and the Soviet Union both pressured the invaders to withdraw. That was a signal that the Cold War, not old colonial empires, would define the new order. The mechanism behind its importance: the Suez Canal was not just water. It was a trade artery connecting Europe and Asia. Whoever controlled it influenced global commerce, energy, and military movement. Then in 1973, the Yom Kippur War changed everything again. Egypt and Syria attacked Israel, catching it by surprise. The war itself was devastating, but the global impact came from what happened next. Arab oil producers used oil as leverage, cutting production and driving prices up sharply. That oil shock hit countries around the world. Inflation rose, economies slowed, and governments realized something uncomfortable. The Middle East could directly affect the daily lives of people thousands of miles away. Useful takeaway: energy dependence is power. If a region controls a critical resource, it can influence alliances, prices, and policy. That lesson still matters in today's debates about oil, gas, and energy security. In 1979, another earthquake hit the region: the Iranian Revolution. The US-backed Shah was overthrown, and Iran became an Islamic republic under Ayatollah Khomeini. This was not just a change of government. It showed that a revolutionary movement built around religion could overthrow a major regional regime and resist superpower pressure. Its impact was enormous. It inspired both fear and imitation, intensified rivalry with Saudi Arabia, helped shape modern political Islam, and set the stage for decades of conflict involving Iran, Iraq, the Gulf states, the US, and Israel. Finally, the Gulf War of 1990 to 1991. When Iraq invaded Kuwait, the United States built a huge international coalition to push Iraq out. This war mattered because it showed the new post-Cold War reality. The US would remain deeply involved in Middle Eastern security. It also led to long-term American military presence in the Gulf, which would shape events for years to come. And the visible power of modern war satellites, air power, precision weapons, made it clear that the Middle East had become one of the main stages where global military technology and strategy were tested. So if you zoom out, these 5 turning points reveal a bigger pattern. The Middle East became the place where empire declined, oil became power, revolutions spread, superpowers competed, and global security was constantly rewritten. That is why the region matters so much. Not just because of what happened there, but because what happened there changed economics, diplomacy, warfare, and politics everywhere else. And the most interesting part: these turning points are not really over. Their consequences are still unfolding today. The Middle East since World War II. 5 turning points that changed the world is just one small part of the Middle East since World War II. If you are interested, our full free The Middle East since World War II course is linked in the description.